friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Jackie and let's get started. For DIY number 1, I am taking one of these bubble play sets from the Dollar Tree and I'm just going to use this little dish. I'll put everything away and now I'm going to grab one of these sprinklers also from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to remove the little valve part. I don't need that. And I'm going to remove this back piece that hooks up to the hose, and I'm just going to use my little screwdriver set to remove the screws and remove this piece. And now I'm still left with this plastic piece sticking out of the back, so I'm going to use my bigger X-Acto knife and I'm going to just cut very carefully until it pops right off like this. There's still a little piece left, so I went ahead and removed that and used my pliers to pull it off like this. So now I'm left with this hole. Okay, so now this hole here, I want to fill it up. So I'm going to take some of these rocks from the Dollar Tree and I'm just simply going to fill it up with rocks all the way to the top of the octopus's head until it looks like this. And now I'm going to secure this little basketball that's on top of his head because it moves. So I'm just going to add some glue and secure it in place. And now I'm going to add one more rock on the inside and I'm going to add some glue on the inside to secure that rock inside like this. So it's pretty full. So now I'm going to take some of these little beads and I'm going to place some around the gap on the bottom and also around the gap on the top of this little octopus. So it looks like this. And I'll add some glue as well to help secure it in place, so it won't move around too much when I paint it. And now I'm not liking the way that hole is on the back, so I take a craft stick and I just cut a piece like in a circle shape, add some glue to the hole and push that in there like this. So now all I have to do now is add some glue to the back of my little dish and place my whole little sprinkler on top of that like this. So yes, this is going to be another little riser. I love making the risers. So now I'm going to take some Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster just to do a quick coat and remove the color. But some of that paint is cracking, so that's not a good thing, but that's okay. I'm going to remedy that. I'm taking some baking soda and some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color elephant, and I'm just going to mix it together. Basically, I just did, I want to say it's a good 2 tablespoons, and then I just added some of the paint and mixed it with a bamboo skewer. And if it's too thick, you could always add more paint. If it's too thin, you can always add more baking soda. So now I'm taking my brush and I'm just going to brush this on the whole piece until it looks like this. So now it's starting to look like stone, and I didn't do the top, but I will. So now I'm going to take some of this the Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster again, and now I'm just going to dry brush. And I don't know why, but I always end up dry brushing the beads a little bit too much, but I always go back and fix that. So here, yeah, maybe I should start on something else instead of the beads. But I basically dry brush the whole setup, this whole little piece, and I just take my time and get it nice and worn looking. I want that stone, that worn stone look, kind of like it's been out for so long, so it's starting to show the white on it. So it looks like this. Look at that. It looks like stone. And with all the rocks inside, it's heavy. What do you guys think? Well, I sure hope you enjoyed that first DIY, and today's video is a part of the Dollar Tree Toys to Decor playlist. And Melissa from Melissa Makes DIY got us all together, Antoinette from Decorating Ann's Place, Leah from Junker Necker DIY, Megan from The Crafty Quinn, Marjorie from Jeter's Blessings, and myself, and we're all creating decor from toys, from Dollar Tree toys. So when you're done watching my video, please head on over to the description box and follow the playlist and see what everybody else has created with Dollar Tree toys. It's like child's play. All right, well, let's continue with the DIYs. For DIY number 2, I am taking 2 of these. It's like a game. It's like a ball game. I don't know what they're called. So I actually got these for 50 cents because they were missing the balls, which is fine. I don't need the balls, so I'm just going to use these. So I'm taking my screwdriver set and removing the screws because I need to open this up. So I remove, I think it's 4 screws total on each of these. I don't know what they're called. Catchers, maybe? I don't know. So I go ahead and open it up and I remove all the insides. I remove this top part. It just kind of like twists off. And then I open it up and I remove the little trigger and the little piece that I guess tosses the ball up. And now that I remove that inside stuff, then I go ahead and put the screws back on like this until I have them both ready for painting. And again, I'm going to go in with a base coat, and this time I'm going to use the Waverly chalk paint in the color ink and give it a base coat. And so I do the handles and I do the tops as well. So I'm just going to work with each of these pieces separated. And so again, I'm going to go in with some of this chalk paint, this elephant chalk paint with baking soda, and I'm going to paint everything up with this. And now that I have it all painted, and I don't do it like a full thick coat. I just kind of do a thin coat. And now I'll go back in with the Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster and my chippy brush, and I start to add some dimension and the highlights of this piece, and again making it look like stone. Look at that. It's really cute, especially with all the texture. I love that. I love this effect, and I do all 4 pieces the same way. So now I'm going to put these pieces back together. The top, it's like a basket, onto the bottom part, the handle. And I just place them on there. They just twist back on. And now I'm ready to embellish. So now I'm taking some of this Crafter Square twine, jute twine. And I'm just going to go around this middle part here. I go through the little part where the trigger was, and I just go wrap it around the center of this whole piece so you can't really see that gap. That's the reason why I did this. So now I'm just going to snip off the excess and secure it with a good knot, and then remove that excess, and I do that to both. And now I'm taking 2 of these LED tea light candles, turn them on, and look, they fit perfectly in there. Oh my goodness, perfectly. Now all I have to do is embellish with some florals, and I choose some fall florals for the season, and that is it. So cute. What do you guys think? For DIY number 3, I am taking some of these racetracks, the Hot Wheel racetracks, and I end up doing 4, but I actually only ended up using 1 because I was pretty ambitious. I thought I was going to make 4 of these little planters, but no. I just did the 1. I just had a week. So I'm going to start off by taking some of these zigzag like little bling jewels. They come on a sticker strip, And I'm just going to place these on the tracks on the center, and I do all 4 like this. And I could always use the rest some other time for another project, which I probably will. Now I'm taking some of this Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster and painting them up all the way around. Look how cute. And now I'm going to go in with some of this Waverly antique wax, and with my chippy brush I'm going to focus on all the edges and the raised pieces, the jewels. So focus mostly on those edges, and I do that to all 4 of them. And look at this. Wow, look how the jewels just pop. They're no longer jewels, they're just like a accent. And I also do the edges, bottom and top, and I do this to all 4 of them, all 4 of these tracks. And again, I don't end up using all 4, but I'm not going to let them go to waste, because look how beautiful. So now I'm going to take one of these little crates, and they're the ones with the slats, and I'm going to go in with the Waverly antique wax and a baby wipe, and I'm just going to wipe this whole piece on all 4 sides and the insides and the bottom until it looks like this. And now I'm going to take the one track that I'm going to use and snip off the end, and then I'm going to begin to measure and cut and glue all the way around this little crate. And as some of the paint does chip off, I will touch it up, of course, but I'll do that after I'm done with all the gluing and placing. And I'll just keep working until I get it to look like this all the way around. So now I'm going to take some of this Dollar Tree spackle, and I'm just going to fill in where all the track ends meet. Kind of like what you would do for crown molding. You would fill in all the gaps. That's what this is going to end up looking like. And so I'll do all the gaps, all 4 corners, and where the tracks meet the crate as well, as you can see. And then I went ahead and touched it with the paint. So now I'm taking some fluorofoam, and I'm just going to stick it in there. And now I chose one of these wooden words from this pack, and I chose Hello Fall, and I went over it with some of the Waverly antique wax and hot glued it to a skewer. So here I'm taking this hula skirt, which is also a child's toy. I'm sure it qualifies as a toy. And I'm just taking my EMT shears and cutting a good bunch of it, because I'm going to use it for the base of inside of my little crate. And look, this is a lot. But I take about, I don't know, a good handful of it. Just add some glue to the fluorofoam, and I'll just place a nice bunch of it in there. Don't use it all, but I use a good bunch of it just to make it look fall-like for the season. And now all I have to do is add my florals till it looks like this. And now I take some of these little mini pumpkins, the orange check ones, and I just kind of tuck a few in here and there just to give it a little more interest. I think it's so cute. And then all I have to do now is just add my little pick that says Hello Fall. And that is it. She is done. So cute. What do you guys think? For DIY number 4 and my last DIY of the day, I am taking one of these little doll houses from the Dollar Tree, and I'm not going to use a little furniture. I don't know what I'll do with that, but maybe something down the line. And I'm going to go in with some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, paint it all except for the little door. I'm going to leave it purple. And now I'm taking some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color steel and my chippy brush, and I'm going to take my time and just distress this whole piece. Make it look a little spooky, like it's been haunted, you know, like give it that look. You know, I had to do one Halloween DIY on this Dollar Tree toy decor, right? Had to do one. And since I had this little house, I thought, why not? Why not? Look how cute. So I just go ahead and do this whole piece on the top, on the front, on the sides. I don't do the inside because you're not going to see it. It's going to be glued onto a board. So I just go ahead and get this whole thing distressed, make it look spooky. And now here's my board. I'm taking one of these 3-in-1 board games, another toy. And so these are made out of wood. Yes, they are. So it's pretty cool. It brings all these little wood pieces as well, but I don't end up using them, but I'll definitely save them for other future projects. So now this backgammon side is the side I'm going to paint. I'm going to leave the checker part alone. Kind of reminds me of Mackenzie Childs, and maybe I'll do something later with it. I don't know. So I'm going to go in with some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and also some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color steel. And I'll use my chibi brush and distress this whole piece as well to get it to look like this. Let that dry. And now I'm taking some of my little wooden letters from the Dollar Tree, and I chose to do Boo. And with the brush that I used to apply the Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, I'm just going to use the same brush that has a little bit of black paint in it and some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color steel, and let them mix together and give it that spooky look. And I'm using a bamboo skewer to keep my fingers from getting all painted up, but you'll see in a minute how cute this looks with the two different colors paints mixed together. It gives it a really cute look. Really cute. You'll see in the final reveal how cute it looks. And now I'm taking two of these smaller craft sticks, and I'm just snipping off the ends and then cutting them in half. And I'll paint these with that same paintbrush to give it that same look as the letters. So I'll just go ahead and paint these up until they're all painted like this. And now I'll begin to assemble. I'll place my little board on a bottle of water to help it raise up a little bit. And I'm just going to add some glue to the sides, to the edges, like this, in the center. And I try to work quickly so the glue doesn't dry on me. And I'll just place this on the board like this. Look at that, looks spooky. And now I'm going to add my little craft sticks onto the top windows to board it up, because you know, haunted houses are a little bit scary. You got to board them up. You got to board up the top, the second floor, or the attic, because that's where the ghosts are, right? And here I just glue my Boo. And then I didn't show it, but I had this piece that belonged to a DIY wind chime, and I just painted it with orange and yellow, and I glued that on there as my moon, my spooky, eerie moon. And here's a branch that I had on hand, and some of these leaves. They're kind of like black maple leaves, but you know, I thought, well, you know, why not make it look cute. And now all I have to do is close my little door. So I just use a bamboo skewer to close it. And look, what do you guys think? Well, I take a moment and thank Melissa over at Melissa Makes It DIY for bringing us all together for this playlist and for this idea, this mastermind idea of creating decor with toys. Let me tell you, you had to really think out of the outside the box for this challenge. But I had a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. And please head on over to my description box and follow the playlist link and see what everybody else has created. I'm so excited to see as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong. And have a great, great day. Bye-bye.